has come. For 300 years, we prepared, we grew stronger. While you rested in your cradle of power.
All right, so this really shouldn't surprise anybody, but it's nice that there's actually some data that supports what we all knew, that Twitter people are not the same as the general population. Now, we talk about Twitter people a lot over here because it's a really interesting movement on Twitter. They have media in their pocket, so media will see. Like, look at, I just did a video on that Monopoly game the other day. One guy got mad about it and did a detailed breakdown on why he was upset about it. The post moved pretty quickly, got a lot of coverage. Target removed the game. We've seen it ruin careers. Look at Vic Mignogna, that whole situation. You see people on there, they got him taken off of the industry. The industry kicked him off because of Twitter. Twitter can do some crazy things, but it's not the majority of America's opinions. It's just a small size of people. But here's the thing. They tweet so much that it actually ends up becoming the entire platform. They say right here in the headline, U.S. adult Twitter users are younger and more likely to be Dems than the general public. Most users rarely tweet, but the most prolific 10% create 80% of tweets from adult U.S. users. 80% of every tweet, of all the tweets on the platform, come from 10%. And we're gonna look at this, but it's just interesting that so few people have so much power. All right, so it breaks down right here. They got 2,791 people to take their survey for this. The analysis indicates that 22% of American adults who use Twitter are representative of the broader population in certain ways, but not others. Twitter users are younger, more likely to identify as Dems, more highly educated, and have higher incomes than U.S. adults overall. Now, what's interesting about this is that says to me that these are, the whiny, rich college students. People that have no idea what real problems are, at least not yet. But, that's really an interesting thing because all these things that these people get so mad about really aren't big issues. They're stupid. Getting mad about stuff like this on here. All right, I propose a compromise to gamers. You can you can keep the females looking good as long as you make the males look good. However, they totally ignore the point that all of the guys in video games look like this, or this, or this. That's the same thing. So let's lead into these two things. One thing I picked up, these high Twitter users, they're very less likely to feel attached to their local community. They never go outside. They sit at home all day. They just sit at home all day tweeting. We see this all the time. We've looked at some really high active people on Twitter that cause a lot of problems before on this channel. And we see some of them tweeting up to hundreds of times a day. Hundreds of times a day. And that's how they win. That's how they win. Because the top 10% of tweeters right here make up 80% of the entire platform. So how can you have time to get attached with your community and go out and do things and meet people and have a life when you're literally tweeting once every 5 minutes a day? And that goes right into this point. Those most active on Twitter differ from the rest of adult U.S. users. In addition to these differences between Twitter users and the rest of the population, there are also significant differences between the most active Twitter users as measured by the quantity of tweets they post and those who post less frequently. By definition, the most active tweeters produce a large amount of content relative to the rest of the Twitter population, but the scope of these differences is profound. The median Twitter user posts just 2 times a month. So normal people post like 2 times a month. That's it. But you go down here, the most prolific 10% of Twitter users in terms of tweet volume produce a median of 138 tweets monthly. In fact, This analysis estimates that the top 10% of tweeters are responsible for 80% of the tweets created by all U.S. adults on Twitter. And that's the big thing right there. That's the big revelation of this whole video in this article. Well, not article. This is actual research. This is real stuff, unlike garbage media. They actually go out and do real work here. But the fact that 10% of the people on Twitter run it. It's kind of scary in a way. But they flood it so much that, you can't help but notice what they have go wild. So I showed you that tweet earlier where the person said, in games, how come they ain't sexualizing the mans? They don't do it to the they only do it to the women's. Now you go and you look at that person's Twitter wall, and they're only, they're basically throwing crap at a wall and seeing what sticks. Because if you go and look at every other post that person has on there, it's nowhere near the same level of interaction. They also use it highly more. Once a day was the median for those kinds of people, where, normal people only use it every other day. So it's nice to have facts here that most people on Twitter are pompous Dems, usually come from a more comfortable lifestyle, have no idea what real life problems are, and literally sit on Twitter all day and have no connection to their community. They don't go outside, they tweet all day, and they have no idea what real life problems are. And so I don't think anyone's blown away by any of this, but it's nice that it's there for you to see for yourself. So I will link this in the description for those who want to go through it. You can actually download the complete report. So if you're really into numbers, you can download this and you can look at it all for yourself and really break things down. There's always really interesting stuff in those, and they're given to you in PDF format. So give it a look. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Like and subscribe. Share the video, please. Let's get this word out there to let people know how crazy it is on there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.